Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to have a best of three against another content creator called JayMMA. And for those of you that don't know, JayMMA obviously is another UFC content creator, also likes boxing. So obviously when the boxing games come out, I'm sure he's going to be covering that as well. He's on, I think, 1.3k subscribers. Extremely good fighter. Really like his content, so feel free to check him out. The link's in the description. Go over there, drop a like on some of his videos, and yeah, just support it. All trying to support all the other fellow content creators in the community. And yeah, I've been trying to organize this best of three for a while. It's a bit difficult because of time zones. Obviously, uh, Jay's over in America and I'm in the UK, so it's a bit hard to try to schedule a perfect time. And it's going to be a similar best of three to how it was with JayMMA and UFC GOAT X22. Shout out to them guys. In which, in the first fight, you both mutually agree on a weight class, and then the winner of the first fight's meant to pick the second weight class. Also, if there's knockdowns, you're not meant to jump on top unless it's against the cage. So obviously, if I knock him down against the cage or he knocks me down against the cage, we can look to get a finish from there. One thing I've never really clarified is I don't know if you go onto the cage and you go onto the ground, you can look for a finish. You'll see in the video that at one point that does happen, but I opt to get up because that's never specified, and I don't want to finish someone on the ground and then cause like confusion and make it seem like, it's a cheesy way out. But yeah, just want to say a huge thanks to JayMMA. I really appreciate getting these games in. I'm not sure if he's going to be uploading the video on them. I've messaged him, but I think the time zone he's in right now is way too late for him to reply. But in the event that he doesn't, here's this video anyway. But yeah, still please go check out his channel, drop him a comment, and just say you watched the video and you enjoyed the best of three. I'm hoping that maybe we can run it back and I can fight against his Izzy or John Jones. I think that would be quite cool. And if you guys like that idea, just let me know in the comments, and I'm sure that I can try to organize something. But obviously, as you can see, we are coming up against Wonder Boy here, and I know Jay is very good with Wonder Boy. And one thing that I really didn't expect off the bat was how aggressive he was in the first round in terms of output, and you'll quickly realize like what really is the sort of downfall in this fight for me in the second and third rounds. You can probably pick it off right off the bat, to be honest with you, if you look at the health stats. But Jay is just doing a phenomenal job here of working the body, and I was trying to be really patient and fight technically, but it's something that I realized through the first round, which is normally my worst round as it is that that's not going to work here. I can choose to fight technically because obviously that still is an option, but I'm getting pressured quite a lot. He's doing a great job of switching stances, the lead roundhouse to the body, and then just the regular roundhouse to the body, the teeps to the body, the hooks to the body. They're all starting to add up, and at this point here, I'm still trying to feel him out. This is obviously stuff that I've realised after the fight, and that you'll see throughout these however many rounds, is that Jay's doing a phenomenal job of being extremely elusive, especially in the first round. But one thing that I know is that obviously if you're coming up against a Wonder Boy, you really need to take out that leg, take that bounce off of his step. So he has to be forced to maintain to sort of one stance, and off of that you can then really look to work. But like you can see right now, if you look at the health stats here, my body health is fairly low. My leg health is a bit lower than his, and I need to start working the legs. You can see I'm trying to work the body now myself, but one thing he's doing that's also good is that when he's throwing, it seems that he's stationary, so the combinations are coming off a lot faster than mine as I'm trying to move forwards. And again, this is all a learning curve. This is the point of these best of threes, is that you pick up on your own weaknesses and you look to improve, and you help the fighter that you're fighting, obviously, find out their weaknesses. Iron sharpens iron, and that's the point of these best of threes. And the one thing I need to do is I really need to work on the range. And as you can see here, when I'm in the boxing range, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable. Like that was quite a clean, like 5-punch and a kick combination there. It was really flowing well. When I'm at the kickboxing range, of course, is when I'm at slight disadvantage. He's doing a good job of working the body. But right now is when I'm really starting to employ that game plan of working the legs. I didn't just want to spam leg kicks in this fight here, because I'm really just trying to feel him out. Obviously, we've never fought each other, so It's all a big learning process. It's about figuring out little tactics that he looks to employ and combinations that he throws at specific times. How does he pressure me? Does he like to back away? Does he circle out? How often does he switch stances? And it's all these little things that you really need to pick up on. And it's something that in my best of threes I had to look to employ. Obviously, I don't know if you guys saw the best of three with JG's and UFC GOATed, but it's the same sort of tactic I employed there, which is a feeling out process, and you need to see how your opponent's fighting. As you can see, we ducked that spinning head kick attempt there, and we got the rock. And right now, as you can see, I'm trying to move out the way, but my body's just getting absolutely ripped. And I'm starting to catch him with more combinations. You can see I'm starting to work the legs now. And leg kicks is something that I really pride myself off of. I feel like I've got very good leg kicks and I mix them in very well. And up until this point, it's only this round I really started mixing them in. As you can see, he gets the body rock there. And I was quite disappointed with, you'll see as the fight progresses, I was quite disappointed that I didn't work the leg kicks at the start as well as I could have. As you can see right now, they're landing at a good rate and it's giving Jay something else to think about. You'll notice that in a lot of my gameplays I don't opt to go high. I don't really go for higher kicks and I really focus on the body and the legs. But right now I think my confidence was a bit shocked just because, you know, it's a 5-round fight and my body health's completely gone already. So like I said, it's not the ideal situation, but you have to persevere. It's my own mistakes that's got me here, so I've just got to look to battle through it and see if I can pick up on anything, get a little rock. But right now he's doing a phenomenal job in working the body, even with his hands. Obviously, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, you know that the hand speed is going to be a real problem. He's just super fast. In terms of power, I wasn't really too worried. I feel that Leon has the power advantage, and I'm very comfortable using Leon Edwards, which is why I picked Leon. Obviously, going into this, I thought it was going to be a lot more technical. If I knew that maybe it was going to be a bit more of a brawl at times, I may have opted for someone such as Jorge Masvidal, who's of course got the big power advantage. But you know, I still think that I'm better off with Leon. As you can see, caught him with a good straight there, and I'm starting to catch these body kicks because I really need to. My body's, you know, my lungs, they're just failing me. My liver's hurting. I think every major organ I have within that area right now is completely fried, and it's just credit to Jay. Just a phenomenal game plan here, mixing well the lead roundhouse to the body, the roundhouses, the teeps, and you've got to give credit to your opponent because, you know, if you're getting beat and it's just because of how good they're fighting, like I said, you've got to give credit to your opponent because this is what's going to make you better. And I love fights like this. You'll see in the JG's best of three that I had to battle through adversity as well. And it's those fights that, like I said, iron sharpens iron. It really brings the best out of you. And yeah, one thing I was surprised with though was like I said earlier, I think, was the output in terms of how many strikes that Jay was throwing. I didn't really expect that with Wonderboy, but he was throwing a lot of combinations. Obviously, Wonderboy's hands are super fast, kicks are super fast, so it was quite a lot to deal with at times. I noticed that when I did pressure, I often had better success. That's something I took a mental note of, and I was trying to pick up on the combinations. And I think at this point right here, I've done a good job of sort of installing into my head, okay, he does this, he feints this and goes for this, and this is something that I need to take onto the next fight and really look to improve on, because right now, no matter how good I do, I can still get the finish. You can see beautiful shot lands there. It's still possible to get the finish, you know, as long as I'm still on the feet, as long as I'm still moving around, I can still easily get a finish. But right now it's very hard just because my body's at a point where anything that touches me is really doing a lot of damage. And like I said again, that's my own fault, and it's credit to Jay. His game plan worked very well. Starting to catch the leg kicks here, move him onto the fence, and I looked to shred his block there a bit, but then I backed away because I didn't want to get caught with a knee. And that's something that I was waiting to start, you know, just come flying out of me, because when people normally hurt the body, they throw a lot of knees, especially up close, because that's exactly where I've got to be, in that boxing range. When he throws those knees, it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to alleviate some of that pressure, move me back. And one thing I wasn't throwing enough of was the uppercut, especially when he was going to the body. I mean, if someone's ripping your body, it's basic 101 to just instantly throw an uppercut and clip them. but it's something, like I said, I wasn't doing enough of, and that I picked up on, and that I'm going to look to improve on. I know in this round here, I did go for an uppercut when he went for a knee, and unfortunately his knee landed first, because if that uppercut landed, it would have done a lot of damage, and I would have avoided an unnecessary stun to the body. But like I said, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, and you've got to move on with the fight and just do the best you can. So one thing I've noticed is that when I am doing these best of threes, especially against JGs, I noticed that my fights are going the full distance pretty much. We are going into the championship rounds, and like I said, I believe I do get better as the fight goes on, because I'm starting to pick up on little habits, and you can see I'm having more and more success. So if we look at round 1 as opposed to round 2, 3, 4, you can see that although I'm getting stunned, I'm still getting hurt. There's no doubt about it. Jay's still definitely tagging me and doing his thing. I'm having a lot more success as the fight goes on. As you can see, I rock him here. We get the knockdown. I'll jump on the cage and see if we could do some damage. I knew I was never getting the finish there just because of his head health. But like I said, it's just good to get a knockdown, because this fight might come down to decision. And if it does, these knockdowns are really going to add up. I'm starting to predict his combinations a lot more often here. He's done a good job of surviving there. Obviously, when you pin someone against the fence, it's a lot easier just to tee off on them, because they're going to have to rotate left or right, and he catches me with a beautiful spinning kick to the body. And that decision making there was phenomenal, because he's getting pressured. The kick not only pushes me back, but it's also going to rock my body because of my body health. And then he chains that combination there together beautifully. And like I said, that kick was a super smart decision, because it was high risk, high reward. The high risk being that if I swayed away from that, or if I sidestepped that and I land a shot, he'd have had no stamina. His head health's really low. That might have even knocked him out. So beautiful work from Jay. You can tell he's really good with Wonderboy, just the way he sets everything up. And especially when he chains combinations together, like he did with the body shots before, that was just something that was great to see. And it's something that I had to take a mental note of, because going forward into the next round, if we get to the next round, is something that I can expect him to throw again. But having a lot more success in the as the rounds have progressed here, doing a lot more damage. We've done a good job of working the head. And you'll notice that I haven't gone to the body a lot. I've only really been going to his lead leg. And that's purely due to the fact that I felt that if I threw to the body, he could have caught me with a knee or an uppercut. And at this point where my body health is so low, I didn't want to really chance that. But you can see from that knockdown there, we ended up getting on top. And this was the position, again, I wasn't sure in. I found myself in the same position with JG's, to which I didn't know if I was alright to finish the fight there. I didn't know if I was alright to try and get him out. So obviously it's not a guarantee I would have finished him. So to avoid all of that, I just got up and, looked to continue. But it was a good sign. As you can see, we've taken out that leg. And this is something moving forward that I have a lot of faith in my leg kicks. I trust my leg kicks a lot. I know I'm very good with them. But I didn't start them early enough. From round 1, I really should have been drilling that leg. And an improvement I need to make, of course, is block the body better and work the body better. So, as you can see, tried to touch up there, but no touch. I think he was just locked in and really focused to get this finish. And right now, we're both hurting. I believe it's probably 2-2 going into this round here. At the time, I wasn't really sure how they were scoring the fight. I knew that if I could get a knockdown, I probably could just finish the fight there, to be honest with you, just because his head health's really low. So it's a battle here of head health and body health. As you can see, I'm really trying to block low, but Wonderboy's kicks and knees were just so fast. It was really hard to deal with, to be honest with you. As you can see, he's faking to the body now. We do a good job there of countering. And right now, I really need to slip something and look to catch him with a good shot to the head and really look to close out the fight. But, I'm just wincing in pain. Like I said, all the vital organs are just completely gone at this point. And he chained that beautifully. I mean, you can't get a better finish with that. That's all credit to Jay. That was, when he hit me with that, I was like, damn. I was like, he hit me with that the round before, and I didn't adjust, and he hit me with that straight. Like, it was so beautiful. If I had just known that he chained that combination before and sidestepped, I could have done so. I could have probably knocked him out, but it's ifs and buts, and that's the game. If you zig instead of zag, you can get knocked out. So great work. The stats for that fight here, and there was positives to take out of that fight for sure. And that's something that I've got to build off in the next fight. And here is shout out to Jay, man. He's such a cool guy. I was like, what weight class do you want? Because obviously he won the fight, he gets to pick, and he literally said like, I don't care. So I was like, oh, I feel like I could have done a better job with Leon. Do you want to run it back? And then he was like, yeah, no problem. So shout out to Jay, because obviously he could have picked whatever weight class he wanted. He could have gone, I don't know, maybe middleweight and used Izzy, or light heavyweight and gone for John, because obviously I know he's very comfortable with those fighters, and I'd like to get a best of 3 with him using those fighters. But back to the gameplay, something I now know that I need to do is I need to throw those uppercuts. I need to work that body, and I'm going to look to take out that leg. So I'm going to block low too, because my body, it was so bad that Leon probably would have had to retire because of the amount of body damage he took the fight before, sorry. So I know that in this one here, I'm really going to look to protect my body. And you'll see that my fighting style is a bit different. You can see I'm a lot more aggressive, less tentative. I'm not looking to really be, I'm still being technical, I'm still being very selective with the strikes. And what I mean by not as technical as I thought is that I thought we was going to stand in kickboxing range and look to pick each other apart, whereas Jay was a lot more aggressive. But obviously he was still technically sound, because look at the combinations he's throwing and the way he's setting up the strikes. So when I say that it was less technical than I thought, I just mean in the regards that I thought it was going to be a kickboxing fight. But you can see in this opening round we're being very aggressive. I'm trying to manage distance and use head movement and clip him with the lead hook, because I know that does a lot of damage. As you can see, I'm starting straight away on that leg. I'm really looking to take away that foundation, that base, make him move a lot slower and not have as much power. And I'm switching stance myself, which is something that I didn't do enough of the fight before. So I'm floating between orthodox and southpaw, and I'm really trying to work the body. As you can see, I'm still being patient. Started this round, I was being a bit more aggressive. I've got to be careful with them knees, because, you know, they wore me out last fight. And I've picked up on these little combinations, and I'm starting to throw different combinations. Like, I'm trying to give him a different look from the fight before. In rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, I feel like I've done a better job of mixing in combinations, and it's the same now. I've got to start a lot quicker, because I know what he's going to look to do. We're sort of familiar with each other at this point, and of course it's the same fighters, so it's going to be the same strategy. You can see he's ripping some of the body well. We've started off with the leg kicks landing at a good rate, and this is the rate it needs to land at in order for them to just be melted by round 3, and then you melt the other stance at round 4, and then it's just easy pickings from round 5. So I'm in it for the long game. I'm not looking to get a quick finish. I'm not looking to get finished either. So I'm trying to make this play out to rounds 3, 4, and 5, because that's where I feel like I'm at my best. But I just can't take the body damage that I took the round before. So round 1, I believe, was a good round. It was very even. Like you see, somehow it says I think it said I scored a knockdown, which that just isn't right. I think it said knockdown. I know I got the stun. Maybe I just read that wrong on the screen right now. But that's when we caught him with the uppercut, which is, again, something that I know that I needed to improve on and throw with more. He's been a bit more boxing heavy in this fight here. I tried to sway away from the teep there, but somehow it still tracked me. I swayed a bit too early, so that's good work there from Jay. And that's what I noticed. He's been a lot more boxing heavy in this fight here, and this is perfect for me because it takes away the kicks he was throwing to the body. And being in that boxing range with Leon is a very, very dangerous game, because if I slip or land a good punch, it's going to do a lot of damage. As you can see, we get the knockdown here, 2 knees to the body, and then we back away and instantly go to the leg. So right now the combinations are flowing a bit better. I'm sort of liking that it's in the boxing range, and I'm still trying to land these leg kicks. I'm really trying to mix them in. We're clipping him to the head really well, and as you can see from his health stats on the screen right now, that his head health is just going lower and lower and lower. His body health's still fine. I'm still trying to mix in strikes to the body, but like I said, I really prioritize going to the legs. But based off the fight before, I know I should be trying to work the body where possible, and you'll see that every now and then I will throw strikes to the body. He's been a lot more aggressive here, tried the spinning back fist, which if that landed would have done a lot of damage. And I'm backing away, letting him press. Really trying to get him to be in this boxing range. And I'm sort of trying to draw in these attacks. As you see, really pressuring me now, doing a great job, working the body. And I'm just being calm, being patient. Land that beautiful uppercut there. Through a leg kick, but I was way out of range, so that's just wasting my own stamina. Catching the teep kick, and we're doing a better job of defending the body. Rip to the leg there. And that's something I done better, was I handled the body shots a lot better. And like I said, that's going to completely change the course of the fight, because the fight before I done an absolutely awful job of dealing with the body strikes. And if you look at his head health and leg health, we've done a better job of sort of melting that. And it's crucial to melt that, because Leon's got the power advantage, although Wonderboy has got the speed advantage. And by taking out that leg, like I said, it will be easy knockdowns in the rounds to come. And I'm in it for the long game. I'm in it for the championship rounds. And as you can see, work the body there with a beautiful 1-2. And I'm trying to get reads and, you know, see how he's moving. And as soon as he switches stance, and I see it's the leg that's hurting, you'll see that I'm just going to try to rip that leg as much as possible. He's sort of trapping me to the fence here, which is the right thing to do because he can control the range. So I need to pressure forwards here. And like I said, he switched to that leg. I knew it was hurting. We land that leg kick, and we get the leg health event, which is crucial. And then we get the roundhouse to the body there. He lands a beautiful roundhouse himself. And with 15 seconds to go in this round, as long as nothing crazy happens, catches me with that clean combination. Again, I love that combo. He throws it so well. But as long as nothing crazy happens, which it didn't, that should be my round. So we're doing a lot better compared to the first fight. Like I said, you have to really reevaluate and look to build off of the positives from the fight. Even though I lost that fight, I took a lot of positives out of it. I'm now working on the negatives and formulating a game plan in order for me to win. And I've done a good job so far. Obviously, anything can change. He's still got a lot of stam. He's still got power, so I've got to be careful. Land the knee there, which is something that I thought I needed to do a better job implementing when we're in that boxing range, because he was melting me with the knees a lot. As you can see, he's starting to throw fakes, and his head health's got a lot lower, obviously, after that knockdown. As you can see, when we're trading, the power difference is really evident. We go for that leg there, and he's forced to fight out of the southpaw stance. Obviously, Stephen Thompson, I think, has got a great switch stance anyway, because obviously he always floats between stances. And I'm really going to try and work that leg now and really get him out of the fight. So, as you can see, I'm being a bit more patient. When we're in the pocket, I will explode. We rip that leg again. And I started to notice here maybe he's not as comfortable out of southpaw because he keeps switching back to orthodox. And that's when I'm getting that leg health event. Really apply the pressure there, get the knockdown, and then we get a beautiful knockout there. So, it's 1-1 now, going into the third fight. And I thought at this point it just makes sense to do Leon versus Wonderboy. There's no point changing now. Seems like we've already committed. Here's the stats for that fight. So yeah, so much better than the first fight. And coming into the third, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm sure he's going to make very good adjustments and look to have the fight, you know, finish in a different way. And I was very interested to see how he was going to come out this fight. If he was going to be less boxing heavy and go back to trying to work the kicks to the body, which he obviously found great success in the first fight. In the second fight, he still hit me to the body, just not as much. He was more boxing heavy orientated, and he's sneaking in the knees there really well. As you can see, he starts off very aggressive, very aggressive play style indeed. But aggressive in the sense that he throws a lot of combos, but he's not really block breaking. So it's nothing cheesy, it's just a great play style. And it's my worst play style to play against, to be honest with you. I do struggle when someone pressures me. It depends the fighter they're using. With Wonderboy, I'm less worried, more worried about the volume, less worried about the power. So I can take a bit more shots, but the volume can be slightly overwhelming. But nonetheless, we've just got to deal with it and look to implement the game plan we did in the fight before. And as you can see, landing these leg kicks already, switching stance quite a lot, and that's just to give him a different look. I feel like the hooks are really landing, the uppercuts are landing, the teeps are landing really well. We're having, you know, it's like the second fight. It's a lot better success than the first fight. The first fight I made too many mistakes, And right now it's programmed into my mind. It's like, okay, think about what he's doing. He's going to go to the body, block low. And I'm trying to pick up on the combinations that I knew he was throwing. But I've just got to be careful because, like I said, in the early rounds is sort of where I'm more prone to getting knocked out or dropped or making bad decisions. As the fight progresses, I feel like I've got more of a chance of winning just because I feel more comfortable. He backs me towards the fence there, which is something I feel like he probably should have done more, was control that centre of the octagon. Either control the centre of the octagon or completely back away and have me pressure, because it's a weird one. When he was pressuring me, I felt like he was finding success, and when I was pressuring him, I feel like he also was finding success. So I feel like it was hard for him to differentiate which one he wanted to go for, what avenue he wanted to explore, because he was having success in both. But obviously with Wonder Boy, you're normally fighting from the outside. As you can see, he just missed with that kick there. But overall, it's been a fairly competitive round. Both throwing a decent output. Similar like strikes landed between us. Similar sort of damage done. As you can see, my leg health is quite low from where he's done a better job of checking the kicks. And again, that's all just credit to Jay's adjustments. Obviously, the fights before, I was really working the leg kicks well. And he started to pick up on the timing of them. But that being said, I'm not going to deviate from that game plan of throwing those kicks. Because like I said, I have a huge amount of trust in my leg kicks. I know that I can throw them from obscure angles and really catch my opponent off guard. And it's just something that I feel like when you filter in correctly, is such a crucial aspect of the game. And it is hard because the more you block low, the more your head's open. And as you can see, he flew out in round 2, sprinted directly at me and was ready to get it from the get-going. So he was really looking to come out here, put on a show, do a good job of dropping him there, drop him again. Oh, if that head kick landed, that would have been money. That would have been the fight right there. Like I said, that clip has now changed the fight, being very aggressive, land to the body there. And as you see, I back away, gather my thoughts, switch stance, go to look forwards, he hits me with a good kick. But that's one thing, is I don't get overexcited. I needed to back away because I can still get hit with a big shot. And, you know, with Wonder Boy, there's the head kicks, there's all sorts. Do a good job of blocking that leg kick there. And that's one thing, if you're a big leg kicker, you're going to take damage to your legs. You've also got to do a good job of checking these leg kicks, because the more you land it on someone, the more they're going to try to implement it on you. As you can see, that uppercut breaks through that guard, doing a good job, land the knees there, and that's something I knew that I had to add in. Go for the head kick, which he blocks, and then bang, hits me with one. And this could change the whole fight right here. So, you know, he hit me with a big head kick. It's something that he knows that he could land, and I knew it was coming. I don't know why I lowered my hands, but, you know, it's a lapse of concentration. It's great work from him. I feel like my head movement was definitely getting better as the fights progressed. As you can see, we're really trading in the pocket here, but I trust my power. I feel like I've got the advantage when it comes to the power. But I've got to be careful because, you know, he stunned me once. It won't take much more to stun me again. Beautiful knee to get that knockdown. Really pressuring. Another knockdown here, and it's all thanks to the uppercut that I've been implementing here. Try to work in that elbow, but he does a good job. He keeps his block up. Really pressuring here. Catch the knee, which again, done a better job of blocking those knees. Work the leg. You see, still pressuring, trying to break that block, and he hits me with that knee. That was clean. Goes for the question mark kick, which I knew a high kick was coming because he wanted to obviously get me out of there. He hit me with the high kick before. Went for the question mark kick, which is slightly slower, I think, than the high kick. We duck and we get the finish. So hope you guys enjoyed those fights. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new for more UFC content. Shout out to Jay. Hopefully we can run up best of 3 again. But yeah, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.